Johnson Wine Guy. I am back with another wine and food pairing, and you may have watched the video for this review, and if not, I'll make sure that the video is attached to this video. But this is going to be the Bogle wines, the Bogle lines of wines, and here we're looking at the Bogle 2023 Chardonnay out of Clarksburg, California, outside of Sacramento. I said in the video, I said now, I've always been a fan of the Bogle wines, and I believe that these wines are totally overlooked, for their quality, for their ability to pair with different foods, and I'm going to do a wine and food pairing with this. Now, if you've been following me, you know that I like to step outside the box. And also right now, we're in a winter season, wine drinking season, but we're in a winter season, in which we're dealing with more soups, more savory dishes, more deep flavored dishes, slow cooking, savory, deep flavor. So we want to have wines to pair with those dishes and dishes to pair with the wines we're going to be drinking this time. So you do have some light style Chardonnays, but you have those like robust, dense, rich tasting Chardonnays, for this season for that purpose. Now, I like to, if you've been following me, you know that I like to use this term, stepping outside the box. What does that mean? I don't do traditional things that you would have with wine, whether it be white or red. I don't do traditional things, I like to step outside the box and experiment with things that people don't even think about. In fact, it reminds me of the time when I had my wine store and I did private tastings, and I did food pairings with those, or create food, I would say, with the wines I'm going to be featuring that evening. But I did not taste the wines in the food, in the dishes ahead of time. That's not how I roll. Because I want people to discover there's so many obstacles and elements or variants that exist with your customer base. Some people may be allergic to certain ingredients. Some people may not like certain ingredients. Some people may be sensitive to salt. So you cannot taste the wine, in my opinion, taste the wine, pair with the dish and say, oh my God, that's the right pair, people are going to love it. No, that's not going to happen. Okay? So what I did was, because of my experience with drinking wine and my experience of being a chef and preparing food, I understood the components, of both the wine and the components of food, and some of those similarities, like the sweet, the salty, the acid. Same things exist in wine, and I try to compare those things, try to find that happy medium with those things with the wine without tasting, and so after tasting a wine, I said, okay, I'm going to do this dish. But see, my taste is multiple dishes because I said, okay, I have this wine, I'm going to do this dish with this wine. I didn't taste it, but I think they're going to go great together. But I have multiple dishes, and I want people to try the wine with multiple dishes because one dish doesn't mean that they're only going to be able to pair with one wine. Or one wine doesn't mean it's only going to be able to pair with one dish. I sometimes have multiple wines in only one dish, just to show the diversity and the difference of taste and how it works. Okay? So, that being said, stepping outside the box, that's what stepping outside the box means. Don't stand in tradition. Okay? Step outside the box, do what you want, do what you like, and just see what happens. Sometimes you may have to modify things. You may have to add a little bit squeeze of lemon juice. You have to add a little bit more salt, a little bit more spice. You play around with it. So my goal is to have you not be afraid of wine and food pairings. I did create some wine and food pairing videos of fundamentals, and I'll put that link in the bottom too. Wine and food pairing fundamentals. You can watch that video, do some wine and food pairing fundamentals along with me in the video, and there you go, learn about it. The goal is to not have you afraid of selecting a wine with food. Have fun, explore. What do I say? Repeat after me. Step outside your box. Yeah, now, that being said, Chardonnay 2023 Bogle wines, again, as I said earlier, oftentimes overlooked because when we begin drinking wines, we drink certain brands, and then as we start venturing off into wines, and meeting new friends, drink different wines, we move away from the brands that we enjoy because we become snooty, okay? We're like, okay, I can't let my friends know I drink, let me think of a brand. I can't let my friends know that I still like, I can't take my brain right. Barefoot. If you always enjoyed barefoot, and you still enjoy barefoot, even though you've elevated your wine pleasures into other different brands or more higher quality, but you still enjoy, say, barefoot Moscato. You still enjoy that, okay? You don't let your friends know. I say forget that. Drink wine, enjoy the wine. Don't be ashamed of wines that you like, because your taste evolves and it becomes varied over the years as you begin to age. I mean, the big, bold 50% alcohol wines that I enjoyed, going through the 90s, yeah, I don't enjoy those that much. But I have one that tastes pretty good, especially if it's a good quality. But I'm not into 15% alcohol wines. I like the sweet spot, 12 to 13 and a half, and I'm good to go, right? But still complex. So now, that being said, let's get to the wine and food pairing with the Chardonnay from Bogle Winery 2023. This is coming in at 14% alcohol. I'm not going to talk too much about that. You'll find that out in the review. But I have here it's winter time. I'll say fall coming into winter. It's soup season, so I have here ham. Ham comes from a local butcher, in Sheboygan County. All right, so that's where the ham comes from. This is a blend of beans: chickpea, black bean, red bean, lentils. Okay, it's not vegan, so I can't call it that. So it has chicken stock as the base. All right, but here's the thing that takes it to another level. Okay, this is going to be a savory turmeric spice blend, and this is going to be based on mushroom by the Herbal Utopia organic mushroom seasoning. So it has like black pepper, lemon peel, chipotle pepper, parsley, oyster mushrooms, garlic, onion, paprika, and sea salt. That's what's in this soup. Now, I didn't make this soup. This soup was made for me. And I thought, wow, I had it before. I thought, when I looked at my freezer, like, oh, I still have one of those. Let me try this with the Chardonnay. I don't know how it's going to go. I remember what it tasted like. I did review the Chardonnay, so I'm going to take a chance, see what happens. I should have put some butter on my sourdough, but you're going to go straight, regular bread, sourdough bread, and give it a taste. So let's refresh with the wine, and here's our seasoning. Let's refresh with the wine. Okay, right, fruity in the wine. That's all I'm going to say about it. Nice acidity. Now, let's take a bite of the soup. Make sure you get a piece of ham. Get a bit of all the beans. Not too bad. I wouldn't mind having a little bit more spicier. Maybe jalapeno now would be nice, right? Here we go. So, one more taste to confirm my thoughts. This is how you do it. Okay? This is how you do it. Make sure you get a piece of ham. Okay, here we go. So, the acidity that exists in the wine works great with that. On the finish, get a little bit of that oak char, but very subtle. The soup brings out more of the fruit. One doesn't overpower the other. In fact, it makes it more fruity tasting with the soup. But together has a really nice balance to it. You use the wine to rinse the palate after having the soup. Or if you have the soup and then drink the wine and taste it with the ham. So to me, I thought it was a very good pairing. Nice balance between the two. Something most people think about having a white wine in the fall, in the winter, especially with your soups. But there you have it. Wisconsin Wine Guy is encouraging you to try different wines with your soups, and don't just stick to red. Try different wines with your soups and stews and bisques in the summer, I mean in the winter time, in fall time. And I want to say to you, this was a good pairing. It's your Wisconsin Wine Guy saying, as always, let your palate be the guide. Not mine. Your palate be the guide when pairing your wines and your food. And I'll see you next time. I'm going to enjoy this. It just warms my bones. Ciao!